Back in 2020, this potion's rarity led the way for socialism to be the norm in Hypixel SkyBlock, with it only failing due to admin-forced capitalism. But how did that happen? And was it even a good thing? Let's find out. If you've ever seen this video from Technoblade, then you probably know that Hypixel SkyBlock has a speed cap of 400. 400 what, you're probably wondering? Well, not miles per hour, not meters per minute, speed. The base is 100, you can raise or lower the cap, but typically 400 is the max. When Technoblade released that video, that was a pretty unique feat. But just a few months later in early 2020, pretty much everyone had right around 400 speed at all times. And that's because of this. This is a Speed Potion 8. It gives speed and is a requirement to passively have as much speed as possible. Pretty much everyone has this buff, but back when the game came out, it was pretty difficult to obtain. And that's because it costed 25,000 sugarcane just to make the potion. But with more expensive potions like Strength, even unlocking the recipe was a chore. However, by using one gunpowder, you could turn these potions into splash potions. And this meant that where there was a desire in the community to have extra stats, there was also a way to directly address that desire for several players at once. Enter. These things were rough in their early days. See, God Splashes gave players the opportunity to get 1 hour of the best potion effects in the game for a fraction of the cost it would take to brew them yourself. These became popular in early 2020, but not just anyone could host them. See, you needed to be able to invest millions of coins to max your alchemy level for more potion duration, and also spend millions of coins to actually brew the potions, which meant there was a pretty high cost of entry. However, because each set of potions costed about 1 million coins and made about 2.5 million, it was still very profitable. And in theory, this system works great. I mean, you continuously have players who want God Splashes, and you continuously have potions brewing, and then you continuously make money. But again, that's just in theory. In capitalism theory. In actuality, getting all the 25-ish people for these splashes took about 20 to 30 minutes. This meant you'd run out of potion effects, go scroll through the dozens of different splash discords, find one with a splash, join the party, and then wait. And then once the party was finally full, you'd get to... Yeah, pretty often people would charge everyone, fill the party, and then not actually do the splash. It got to the point where you would have to ask to see the potions for proof that there was a splash. Old Skyblock was barbaric, man. So yeah, this system was broken and easily exploitable. And it's in times like these that we need to see governing bodies step in. No, I'm not talking about the admin team. I'm talking about guilds. We all join them without really knowing what we get out of them. /gjoin yikes LMAO. But these things used to actually serve a purpose, and players used to be happy to pay taxes to their guilds, which, if you know anything about Skyblock players, you know they don't play well with taxes. See, guildmasters took the incredible buffs and ongoing need for these God Splashes and came up with a system of socialized splashing. This meant that every week you had to go pay your GM a tax, which was hundreds of thousands of coins, and you'd have consistent, easily organized splashes because guilds can party everyone at once. When doing research for this video, I found this Reddit post from 2020, which asked, how do people who splash guilds make money? And that's the neat part. They don't. Instead of prioritizing profits, guilds prioritized efficiency. Instead of prioritizing exclusivity and maintaining demand, guilds prioritized accessibility. And at this point, splashes could cover over 50 people at once. This meant that a regular splasher was paying 1 million coins and then making 5 mil back, but a guild would take all that 5 million and reinvest it into 5 separate splashes for its members. This is what made guilds the preferred style of splashes for a majority of players. But just like with real-world socialized programs, rich players had other plans. In the time that guilds were establishing the People's Republic of Skyblock, some opportunists decided to learn from the efficiency and monetize it. Where a guild taxes players a reasonable fee, people like 2NFG decided to charge a massive upfront cost to give players scheduled splashes, more reliability, and more splashers being hired. These potions weren't any different than potions splashed in a guild splash, but they happened way more frequently. This meant that rich players would still be in guilds that had splashes, but pay about 6 million coins every month outside of that to get more options. To draw a real-world comparison, it's like how many countries have free healthcare, but rich people can still opt for, private institutions where they can get quicker and oftentimes more luxurious experiences. Just have to pay a bit more. The system worked pretty great. I mean, everyone was getting splashes, and SkyBlock felt like a real community. I mean, sure, you can argue that the class inequality allowed rich players to consistently have more efficient grinds, letting them get richer, while poorer players were stuck waiting for their guild to splash, but everyone's needs were still met, and it felt like the game truly was moving in the right direction. On September 8th, 2020, the admins introduced the booster cookie. You buy it, you eat it, you get bits. And for 1500 bits, you bought the God Potion, which basically gives all the great potion effects for 12 to 24 hours. As infamous splasher Hater put it, they're basically the same thing, but no community aspect. Sad face. Was this a good thing? Well, who knows. I mean, the admins gave us what we wanted, but it does feel kind of empty. I mean, it makes me sad to know that no new players will know the joy of randomly seeing a lobby fill up, joining it as quickly as possible, and then getting a free splash. But honestly, it wouldn't make sense for splashes to have left 2020. I mean, that's such a barbaric way of getting an almost essential boost in stats. The only place it makes sense is the only place it still happens. In Discord servers like Bingo Brewers, where they do splashes for anyone on the Bingo game mode. God Potions, as devastating as they were to the splash industry, were a good call. And without those pesky, empathetic guild masters trying to make sure everyone gets a splash, SkyBlock is back to capitalism. And if you want to see just how far that capitalism goes, well then check this video right here where I talk about how SkyBlock's economy compares to that of actual countries. I'm working on my video about winning the minister race, but it may take a while. So until then, subscribe if you enjoyed. Without further ado, I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.